What's going on? What's going on? So I got to ask what I thought about Derek Carr retiring as a quarterback for the NFL. What I think. I thought he had a strong arm, but he was a very average quarterback. His career record was under 500. He never won a playoff game, and he just seemed to be mediocrity. I saw him with the Raiders, and I remember Jack Del Rio got into the playoffs, and he started promising with New Orleans. But I always thought he was a guy that was kind of like, I don't know. I want to say like a broke version of Jake Plummer and Jeff George. You know them big booming arms, but they could never get it together. They never had the kind of career to match the skills. And there's a lot of people that because you're talented, you can be as talented as someone even more. But if you never put it together, it's almost like a waste. And that's how I kind of look at his career, because I don't want to hear nobody talking about, oh, he didn't do nothing. To me, he just basically took money. Um, he had good situations. He didn't evolve. Now, I know it's going to be fashionable to say that Patrick Mahomes had owned the AFC West, and I'll give you that for like the last seven. But he was there before there was a Mahomes, and what did he do? He had a chance to make a statement. What did he do? He had different. He had gotten what happened. I think he got benched or something that went down with the Raiders because they was tired that it was never going nowhere because he was frustrating. He's one of those kind of quarterbacks, at least be hard headed like Jay Cutler, at least show some initiative, get to another level. He just never did. He was just the kingpin of mediocrity. So that's how I look at his quarterback career. I think it had promise, but it just never went nowhere. And he did have talent with him. I've been hearing, oh, he didn't have. Look, you got to be the quarterback. You got to be the man. And had he stepped up, I don't know what was. I don't know why it was so. What was so missing with his career, but there were games he looked like one of the top six quarterbacks going. Then there were other games he like he was 26. It just depended, and it could be just erratic as it could get. And so I never really understood how he got to last as half as long as he did, because it was never getting any better. You know, um, like I said before, good arm, very good arm, really good arm, very good arm, all that. But his mediocrity as a quarterback left a lot to be desired. I just don't really see where, how when we get to the end of a career, somebody, you want to have somebody where you can sit there and you can debate and say, well, yeah, I thought the guy, if it wasn't for this or for that, but he didn't have an Andrew Luck situation. He didn't have a situation where I could have sat there and said, oh, had he not gotten hurt, he was his own worst enemy a lot of times. He just sometimes he threw some bad picks. He had talent around him. He just didn't get the job done. And that's the bottom line. And he wasn't, he had a long career. I mean, he was going to get his pension and all that. And he retired. And I hope he be well as far on the personal side. But as a quarterback, he was just mediocrity. And sometimes people don't want to hear the facts. They want you to romanticize. I said, no, the cat was just average. Try hard as he might. He was just a mediocre quarterback. And there's no if and buts about it. He's just one of those cats that I'm not gonna say he was a hardcore stat patter, but at the same time, I just never got that, especially with the kind of contracts he was getting and the kind of money for a guy that I just thought was mediocre. I just didn't see the hype, but that's the end of his career, 11 years. Let me know where you came down on Derek Carr. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like it. The membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.